Hello, my name is Mohammed, and I'll be interviewed by Aiden for the podcast Project Spring 2026.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Legend of the Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Mohammed, you just read the book, so what are your first impressions?
Okay, so I assumed the book would have been more ghostly and like scary, but it's towards like pure horror, and there's like way more complicated aspects other than that. Like Irving created an entire atmosphere where you like constantly have to keep on guessing whether something's real or not. Like it's kind of creepy, but kind of funny as well in some places. It's a lot shorter than I expected, but it's really dense in like material.
I see. What do you mean by dense?
Oh, okay. Like it's mainly about a headless horseman which like haunted a valley, but Irving's talking about both like superstition and like rationalities, where there's like multiple layers within like a theme.
Just know what the story is about and the plot?
Okay, of course. So the setting is in Sleepy Hollow, New York, which is in a valley, which is kind of known for being haunted. The entire community there is like kind of obsessed with this like folklore legend of the headless horseman who supposedly rises from the grave and kind of like terrorizes people.
A legend, right?
So like that's the thing. It's told as like a folklore, but yeah, everyone in the community believes and has like built their entire world's perspective around it. We meet Ichabod Crane, who's like a kind of like a school teacher who's like super educated, but like believes all of this like superstition about this headless horseman as nonsense.
So Crane is more reasonable in terms of believing things?
Um, Kinda, yeah. He's like more rational, but he gets involved with the Katrina Van Tassel, who's like the daughter of like the richest guy in town. There's another character, Brom Bones, who's like just the local tough guy from town who also kind of wants Katrina, and he does get a bit jealous. And this is where kind of things start going a bit haywire.
The headless horseman come now?
Yes, but Irving is smart about it. He makes it that you can never kind of be sure if this horseman is real or someone's just, like faking it and putting on a costume. Like one night, Ichabod like finds a figure on horseback with no head, and he starts getting chased, and he kind of like vanishes. No one really finds out what happens to him, and neither does like anyone else.
Oh, so it's like confusing in the sense that it's ambiguous?
Yeah. Irving never really confirms whether the horseman was like real or not, or whether it was meant to be a way to scare away the main character Ichabod. I think this is supposed to be kind of intentional due to like just to create like a more of a tensions between fantasy and like reality.
That was a good book summary, and I want to learn more about Crane. Is he likable?
Okay, so it's kind of like complicated because like the author Irving kind of bullies him, I'd say, because he described him like really harshly by saying he's skinny, awkward, but he didn't really highlight his good aspects. Like he did highlight them in like the point of how the character is, but he didn't like really explicitly mention whether he's like intelligent or hardworking, which is what he really is. He kind of became like the first actual school teacher in the valley, and I think Irving was like critiquing him, but also having some sympathy. It's more, I'd say it's like almost tough luck, sort of. It's like saying that you're trying to fit into a community that wasn't really meant for you.
So what's his take on superstition?
Okay, so it's kind of ironic because Ichabod like kind of claimed to be educated and rational, but he's like kind of superstitious as well. He does believe in the supernatural, and he also reads plenty of books around about it. Even though he's kind of mocking like the locals around the valley for like kind of believing in this headless horseman, he's not actually much different from him. It's like saying that he's an educated superstitionist, I guess.
Is Irving making fun of him?
Like imagine it like tough love, He's like making fun of him, but he's like kind of like showing that he's kind of educated and rational. Like he can't protect you from like fear or belief. Like Ichabod has the knowledge but no wisdom to like apply it to. Like he's kind of isolated and alone in this case.
Okay. So you mentioned Brom Bones and Katrina previously, right?
Yeah, okay, so I'd say Brahm is like the direct, like complete opposite of Ichabod. He's like really strong, but uneducated, and part of the community without really trying to prove anything. And like Brahm is what like Irving I'd say really values, which is like a really good connection to the community. Brahm also could like this is just an assumption. Brahm could be behind all of this headless horseman shenanigans, which would be funny because kind of be using Ichabod's superstitions against him. Katrina is interesting because she's extremely wealthy, right? She comes from a wealthy background, and she's really educated, but it's still like but she's still intertwined into like the local community. She understands like about the valley, which like Ichabod doesn't. But like, and he's not passive. But, like whether she is complicit in scaring Ichabod or just looking at him crumble is kind of unclear. Although I think this is like the point of the story.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you tell me what Irving was trying to say in the story?
So there's like a couple things I'll focus on, like some. I think that the world is like clashing between some like the old and new world, I guess. Sleepy Hollows is a really isolated place with its own, traditions. Ichabod is a new version with like a rational culture behind him. But he's kind of trying to be like, he's like displaced, right? Whether like the supernatural events are real or like a prank, Ichabod is kind of expelled from the community's like sayings.
Irving trying to tell us that the old ways are better?
I don't, not necessarily. I'd say like he was trying to say that Ichabod's rationality isn't like necessarily rational by any means, and it's a different form of it. Like Brahm's community-based approach isn't like amazing either because it's like kind of violent. So like they both cancel each other out. No one really wins in this case. Ichabod gets scared. Brahm got what he wanted, and the valley is like isolated and superstitious.
Pretty interesting. So, what about the belief itself?
Okay, so that's really important because Irving kind of kept blurring between reality and folklore. The power of belief is really strong, and the story, it doesn't really matter if it's real or not. People think he is, which is what's important. Ichabod's belief in the supernatural danger is what actually makes him like kind of vulnerable. I say the main thing is that Ichabod isn't like an outsider. He's like, and he's educated. The community doesn't want to switch from their old ways, and Irving's kind of asking questions about what happens if like a person does come to a new community or new like place.
You enjoyed the book?
Yeah, I did enjoy the book, even though it's kind of short. I think it's packed with a bunch of information, and it gives you a real feeling about like the atmosphere. Knowing it's ambiguous, it's still kind of creepy at the same time, so you are kind of engaged all the time.
Oh, I see. Are there any things you thought didn't work well in the story?
Oh yeah, similar to what you said before for your book, I think the pacing has some issues where it's kind of slower, especially like towards like the middle section where Ichabod's kind of trying to get Katrina, and the locals were kind of like condescending, I'd say.
Oh, I see. Have you have you experienced things like outsiderness?
I don't think I necessarily have experienced it, but I think Irving does do an excellent job in how like you would feel like if you were experiencing it, where you don't fit in well. I think like education does for sure matter, but like to what like your intentions are is also really important. Like to see if the community really accepts you or doesn't.
I see. Are there any quotes that stood out to you?
Oh yeah, for sure. So there's one of them. Others may write from the head, but he writes from the heart, and the heart will always understand him. This is kind of Irving talking about like how powerful writing is. He's like talking about how of a technical ability it is. Ichabod is really like educated and intelligent, but he's writing from the head and like kind of trying to more like gather attention and like impress people. But like Irving wants to like show that emotions and experiences are more important. It's like a statement, it's a statement about being more authentic rather than being like intellectual. Another quote I'd say is like, and if unhappy in her love, her heart is like some fortress that has been captured and sacked and abandoned and left desolate. This is talking about Katrina, and it's like describing the emotional devastation, which is really which is kind of a violent metaphor. Irving is saying that when you love someone, it doesn't work out. It's not just sadness; it's like your entire inner world and lifestyle has been like destroyed, and it's a brutal experience. And the fact that he uses like a kind of a military-ish, like fortresses type of language suggests like this like a love is more of a battle rather than like just like pure mental you know
Okay. Those are some really excellent quotes. And I have a question. Do you think other people should read this book? Do you
Oh
recommend it?
yeah, for sure. It's a very short, but it's a really smart book. Irving's sophistication about like the perspective, yet the scary points, would be a perfect combination for many people.
What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd rate it at I'd rate it at 8.5. I think it's really good
Hmm.
for the atmosphere. It really does make an excellent like reality, I'd say, because it does apply real life community and how they would interact. Although obviously, as mentioned before, there are pacing issues, but the attitude is still fantastic.
Right. Thank you for that excellent review over the book, and I might try reading it in the future.
Oh, for sure. I do recommend you to do anyways. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.